Hey everybody, welcome back to the Working Man's Whiskey. I'm Bobby. Happy weekend everybody, first off. This past week was kind of crazy at work and it's only going to get crazier. Next week, this coming week, I should say, we're looking at a 50 to 60 hour week. And what we're doing, we're helping put up this hotel in Healdsburg here in Sonoma County. And 4 stories, 122 rooms. Supposed to be done by January. So let's see how that goes. That's a lot of manpower, a lot of hours. So do the math, and we'll see how many reviews I can do in the future here. As I said, I'm already gonna go on a short hiatus after this one here. Not long, guys. Like a few weeks probably. Not just work, but I have a few things coming up. Family trip, our annual family trip to Reno in Virginia City, Nevada. And I look forward to this trip every year. It's a great getaway. Don't have to go too far. It's 3.5 hours to Reno from here, another half an hour or so to Virginia City. So not too bad. And I love going... the Pepper Mill where we stay in Reno, they have some great bars in there. I don't overdo it. I just like to go in there, and they have one in particular called the Terrace Lounge, Terrace TERRACE Lounge, and they have a great bar there. Behind the bar there's a roundabout, and it's just stacked with whiskey, different kinds of whiskey. And last year when I went on that trip, I got to talking with the lady working there. We talked for a few hours just about whiskey. A few hours about whiskey. She was, letting me sample just about anything you can think of. I mean, the only one I wasn't allowed to have, and trust me, I tried, was Pappy's 23 Family Reserve, which I've since had. Very good stuff, but very nice lady there. Julia was her name. And hopefully she's back there again this year. I love talking to you guys about whiskey. I'll sit down and talk somebody's ear off about whiskey or sports or music or, just history for hours at a time. Never gets old for me. So anyway, there's that place there that I just mentioned in Reno. And then Virginia City, which is an old West, old cowboy town. I love going there. That's my kind of place. That is my place. Go there every year, sometimes multiple times a year, and I love these old West towns, guys. A lot of the old saloons there. They kind of specialize in Bloody Marys. Everybody claims to have the best Bloody Mary in town, which is cool. I mean, I love Bloody Marys, to be honest with you. I'm not a big cocktail guy, but that's one that I do love, a good spicy Bloody Mary. And it's just a great trip every time we go. I love the history. Mark Twain got his start there. He moved out there in the 1800s with his brother. He started writing for the Territorial Enterprise newspaper in Virginia City, excuse me. That's when he kind of switched over from Sam Clemens to Mark Twain. Needed his pen name. So, very historical town, old mining town. A lot of famous people from there, but I don't know. There's something about old cowboy towns, old saloons. No matter what the drink, specialty is, Bloody Marys or anything else, I've got to have whiskey in an old cowboy bar. So that's what I do. And sorry guys, I'm kind of rambling on a little bit, but kind of like telling you guys about what I'm up to and all that. Anyway, very, very cool place. If you guys ever get a chance to go to Virginia City, highly recommend it. And so anyway, back to this review. This one is 4 Roses Small Batch. And we've already reviewed the Four Roses, just regular yellow label, the kind of base product from Four Roses. Before I get into this one here, just a little backstory on Four Roses. There's actually two different stories. One of them says that this guy Rufus Mathewson Rose, he was a druggist back in the 1800s and started making whiskey. And some people say that Four Roses was named for him, his brother, and their two boys, the Four Roses. So that's one story. The one that I kind of like, and the one that Four Roses actually claims to be true, is about this guy Paul Jones back in the 1800s. He was making whiskey as early as 1860, I believe. But what happened was he was kind of, he had his eyes on the Southern woman, Southern belle, and before long, they started seeing each other, and before long, he wrote to her, and he said he proposed marriage to her, and he said, if your answer is yes, please show up to the grand ball wearing Four Roses on your dress. So time came, and she showed up to the grand ball, and there they were, a corsage of Four Roses. And supposedly the whiskey that Paul Jones had been making, he finally established it officially in 1888, and called it Four Roses as a tribute to his passion and love for this woman. So kind of a cool romance story there. I like stories like that, and I'm a sucker for stories like that. So anyway, Four Roses, very good stuff. This one here, this is the small batch, as I said. And usually this stuff is up around $30 around here. But guys, I might be in trouble because I found a new store to get my stuff, to get my whiskey. A place called Bottle Barn, and I believe it's in North Santa Rosa, maybe South Windsor over here. But anyway, it's called Bottle Barn, and they have a great selection of a lot of whiskey that I've never had before. Also great whiskeys that I've had that are an unbelievable price. I swear this is not a commercial for Bottle Barn, but I gotta throw it out there that they're awesome. This one here, as I said, is usually about $30 around here. This was $19.99, and they had some others. Elijah Craig was also $19.99, and I like Elijah Craig a lot. So anyway, this is the small batch. Says Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey crafted from 4 select bourbons. And, when they say small batch, guys, some people don't put a lot of credence in the term small batch. But this one, I believe, was made from very few barrels. So, and I've had this before. This one for me, and it's not often this happens, the small batch rivals the Four Roses single barrel. The single barrel is very, very good. Maybe just a touch better than this one, but not much. There's not a big gap between those two. And I'll probably be reviewing that one as well on here, because that one is usually about $45 out here. The single barrel, $29.99 at the same place. So you can bet that I'll be reviewing that at some point. Anyway, guys, this is I believe, I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is somewhere around a 6 to 8 year old product. Opened it up. But it's got a little age to it. Definitely has some age to it. You can taste the character in the whiskey for sure. So, kind of a cool bottle too. See, it's the roses are kind of engraved into the bottle there. I like that. Cool bottle. Usually don't spend a whole lot of time looking at the bottle, guys, but sometimes bottle catches your eye, and cool design, cool cork, just all around great deal for $20. So take a look at this, and it's say a medium amber. light to medium. Not too dark, not too light. And the nose on this, I mean, it's a great nose. I mean, you know that you're going to be drinking something good before you even sip on this. You get spice, a lot of good spice, rye spice, and wood spice, kind of like a spicy wood thing. But some baking spice as well. Definitely some vanilla in there. Definitely some fruit. I get mostly citrus type fruit in there. Maybe a little bit of cherry down deep in there a little bit. A little bit sweet. Not much of a corn sweetness on the nose, but like a caramel type sweetness. Just give it a sip, guys. I'm teasing myself here. And on the palate, it's just so smooth. It's funny, it sits on your tongue and it's got a great taste, great spice, a little bit of sweetness, not too overly sweet, but great spice, some good barrel in there, good wood. But then you start getting it toward the back of the mouth, toward the throat, and that spice just opens up even more. That rye hits you pretty good. And as I said, you definitely get that rye spice, but also some baking spices, some clove type spices, maybe some cinnamon type spices. And as I said, kind of a spicy wood type note going on there too. Just such a well-balanced whiskey. I love this one. And I was actually, my buddy had a birthday party. My buddy turned 32 yesterday. Went to a bar in the city that they're kind of, they specialize in whiskey. They have a lot of different kinds of whiskey that I don't see all the time out here in Sonoma County. Like E.H. Taylor and they have the Pappy, or the Rip Van Winkle and all that stuff. Anyway, they had this one there, and I didn't get any of it because I already had a bottle at home. But I think we were selling it for like $10 a shot. And I'm not big on whiskeys at the bar usually, just because they overprice everything. I mean, you're getting a shot usually for half the price of what you pay for a bottle, and just ridiculous. But this one, I think they had it at $10 for a shot. And if I had gotten a whiskey there, I just stuck with beer last night. But if I'd gotten whiskey, I would have. I mean, $10 a shot at a bar in San Francisco where everything's just ridiculous. Definitely a great price. So, as I said, this was $19.99 for this bottle. Usually up around $30 or so. But if you can find this, at $20 a bottle, I mean that's a steal. And it's what is this, 90 proof? Yeah, it's 90 proof, 45% ABV. And that's right where it should be. This one, they've proofed this perfectly. Just the mash in this is perfect for me. Or nothing's perfect, but it's as close as can be. And at the price, for this product that I paid, $30 would be a little bit lower. At $30, I'd give this like a 90 out of 100, which is still darn good. This one at $20, I mean, I don't do this often, but I'm going to give this like a 95 out of 100. I love this whiskey. This is a great, great, great whiskey. And I highly recommend you try it if you haven't yet. Small batch whiskeys, as I said, some people just don't put a whole lot of credence into that term, but this one here, I mean, you can tell this is a very good, well crafted, just well taken care of product. They put a lot of time and good work into this one here. So 4 Roses small batch, guys. Get out there and try it. Buy a bottle. Definitely buy a bottle. I mean, shoot, you're not gonna for $20 or even $30. I mean, you're not gonna get much better than this. So that's it for this one. I look forward to talking to you guys soon. As I said, a few weeks, I'll be back. Gotta prioritize sometimes. And, I love doing these reviews with you guys, but family first. Hate to say it, but work first, I mean, gotta make money. So all that's gonna, the work thing, no pun intended, but it'll work itself out. But going on the family trip, I mean, I love doing this, love going there with my wife and with my kids, just and friends. We have a lot of friends that go on this trip as well, so I'm very excited for that. And look forward to reporting back to you guys, telling you how it went, and reviewing. I already have the next whiskey that I'll be reviewing. It's one that one of my viewers recommended a long time ago, and I apologize for not reviewing it. It totally slipped my mind back then. I mean, this was several months ago, so I just guess put it to the back of my mind and kind of forgot about it, but finally gonna review it. So anyway, guys, that's it for this. Definitely comment. Look forward to talking to you guys. I'll still be reading comments and replying to comments. So won't be totally out of the picture, but a few weeks till the next review. And love you all, and take care, and cheers.